The average monthly income in 2024 was only $4,953. This is backed by data. Watch the entire video if you want to get richer, if you want to make more money in your business, because we're going to talk about a concept of follow up that will allow you to do better than average, right? If you desire to make more money in your credit or funding business, you will be crazy not to watch this entire video. All right. So $4,953 in the entire 30 days, the entire month. That's on average what people are earning. Like people are struggling out here. So watch the whole video. So I just want to show y'all proof that, I made more than that just with one funding client. And we're going to talk about why it's going to play into what we're going to talk about today. So as you see right here, I got one of my clients funded $50,000 at 0% interest. This is with Chase, obviously, as you see right there. And the client has a $5,000 balance because he had paid me my 10% for getting him access to $50,000 at 0% interest. So you see that right there, 50,000. I posted on the TikTok. I explained all that. If you want more information, go over there. But anyways, in order to get this specific client, right? I had to follow all the principles I'm going to outline for you here in this video today. I had to do the follow-ups. I had to understand contextual follow-up, which is what we're going to talk about today, right? So if you desire to make more money in your business, if you want to be better than average, average is $4,953 per month, right? If you desire to do better than average, just with your business alone, I'm not even talking about what you're already doing. Watch the entire video. How to understand a proper follow-up system based on where he was at in the sales cycle. And this is what business is about. This is what I've had to understand to do better in business. And this is what you have to understand if you want to do better in business. It's 2025. People are least trusting of people that they've ever been. It's a trust recession, which means that people don't trust people, right? It's oversaturated market of scammers. So you have to do contextual follow-up. So one thing I want y'all to realize too, imagine if I followed up with my client and on the first follow up, just on the first interaction, I was like, okay, they're not ready to go. They're not serious, right? At this point for this particular client, we've already funded him about 70K so far, right? So that's at least a $7,000 client when we talk about just the funding. So keep in mind, this is very important principles for y'all to follow. Everything I'm telling y'all about today. So think about it too. How much easier would it be to scale your credit repair business if you had a reliable, bulletproof follow-up system that would help you dramatically increase more sales? Think about your pipeline right now. Chances are, if you're watching this, if you're the ideal target, you're doing anywhere from maybe 5 to 30K a month in your credit repair business. Maybe you're doing 10 to 20K, right? If you take the little bit of stuff that I'm telling you to do and implement within your business, you're gonna make more money. It's just how this shit works. This is just how business works, right? It's harder to get to 10K a month versus you're scaling to 20, 30 and beyond, right? So just keep in mind that it's going to be like the hardest first step initially. If you've managed to get to at least 10K a month, everything else I'm going to tell you is just going to be just doing what you need to do, and it's going to be muscle memory. It's going to be easier. So you currently got some sales waiting for you in your pipeline if you understood follow-up context, right? If you're new, if you're just starting from zero, if you're just like in that curious phase of looking to get into the business, go watch some of my separate videos here on my channel. That'll definitely help you. You can go watch my 0 to 30K video. You can watch other videos in the credit repair business gems playlist, but this is more so for those of y'all that's already doing like 5 to 30K a month. So keep that in mind just for context, since we talk about context. So you need a proper follow-up system, and this proper follow-up system is a contextual follow-up system. Contextual context is important, right? Where someone is at in the journey. When you are getting on sales calls with people, when someone on your team is getting on sales calls with people, they have to understand where that client or prospect is at in the journey. We're going to look at the CAT Credit Bulletproof Scaling System funnel that'll basically outline different stages of where people are in the sales process. Our whole goal is to shorten the sales process, but you have to understand where someone is at in the sales process if you're gonna make more money. And everything I'm telling you right now, if you're like looking at it like, dang, I don't have all this stuff that Michael is talking about within my business, that's a very good sign to you that you need more wisdom, right? And you need to invest in the knowledge to get that wisdom, right? So you got to understand too, we have like the best, this is just kind of, I'm sidetracking a little bit, but the best personal development book is the Bible, right? So if you look at the whole story of King Solomon, he didn't ask God about, oh, give me all this money and all that. He was asking for more wisdom, and that allowed him to get more of the riches. So when you do your business like the Bible, like King Solomon, you will get richer. And part of that is understanding you don't know what you don't know. So that might mean investing in yourself with someone like a Michael Benjamin that's giving you free game on how to make more money in your business so you can get all the sauce, right? So with follow-up, context matters. You got to understand that. Where are they at in the sales process? You want to ask yourself that. So we have to agree on a law. There's a law we have to agree on in order for this video to make sense. This is the law we have to agree on. Sometimes the leads you have, they're not bad. It's just that it's too early for them in the sales process, right? So sometimes you might get on the call, you're like, oh, this person don't qualify. They're not a good lead. You're talking to them like, oh, they're not good and all that, right? It might be too early in the sales process. They might actually be a good lead. It's just that it's too early in the sales process to actually sell them. So our sole focus is to shorten the sales cycle and build trust with our audience. Remember, it's a trust recession. People are not trusting people like they have before. In the past, I started my business in 2021. I'm here to tell you around, that like that COVID time and everything, it was a lot easier to get money from people as far as business, right? And it's just been over time, there's been a lot of people scamming, people not delivering. So it's a trust recession. We've got to understand that. That's the context of where we're at, speaking about context, right? So we have to do more to earn the trust of our people. So the best way to shorten a sales cycle and build trust is respecting the 7 hour rule, which is your remedy for that is going to be creating long form, valuable YouTube content consistently. But even more so, we're talking about context here, right? So if somebody is concerned about collections, deleting collections, we have to have the proper context. Okay, let's send them to VSO where we're talking about deleting collections. Let's send them to VSL where we're giving game on how to delete it. We're showing proof on how we deleted it. We're showing proof in terms of case study video with our client of who we deleted a collection for so that they could see themselves in that, right? If they're mainly concerned about collections, then it's not going to make sense for necessarily for you to be sending them the funding stuff, right? Versus somebody that already has good credit, they're ready to get their funding, you're going to adjust appropriately. So context matters. So this lets you know in this credit and funding space that we do, whether you're doing both or if you're just doing credit repair, or if you're just doing funding, I recommend if you're going to do one, just do funding because you're going to be able to make more money easier and less headaches dealing with, cheap, poor people. But anyways, depending on what you're doing, you're going to have multiple nurturing sales assets, which is going to in turn lead to multiple different nurturing sequences, right? Different nurturing sequences in your CRMs. So the way that people get nurtured, if it's daily emails, texts, you're sending them specific videos, that kind of thing, right? So your CRM will have different automation sequences. It's not just everybody just gets in the same automation sequence. You have to cater to what they're going through, where they're at in the sales process. This is what I'm letting y'all know. This is why people pay us the big bucks because of, this type of implementation, right? This type of implementation can literally single-handedly bring you an extra thousands upon thousands of dollars that you're leaving on the table within your business, right? Some of those leads aren't bad. They just weren't at the right place in the sales cycle for you to sell to them. So what exactly is the sales process? Let's talk about that. So to keep it simple, we're going from new engager all the way to customer. So that's basically what you want to think about when you're going through what the sales cycle is, right? So if we want to do a like a longer version, a new engager becomes a follower, subscriber. Now they become a lead. Maybe they got a freebie from you. Maybe they bought something cheap, something low ticket or whatever. Maybe they got on an email list. Okay, now they're a lead. Now they're finally a customer. They're paying a respectable amount for your service or your product. That's basically their journey. Each stage is different. Each stage is different. So I put it, each stage is a different, and that's incorrect grammar, but that's besides the point. So you got cold, you got warm, you got warmer, you got warmest, you got hot, right? So these are different stages people could be at within doing wanting to do business with you. Sometimes somebody might be a cold lead, they hop on the sales call, maybe they're looking for more information. I understand you don't want to be on a sales call with somebody that's asking all these questions that you covered in your videos, But the reality is they might be a good client, it's just that they didn't get the information yet. So throw them in a appropriate contextual nurturing sequence. But let's look at the Cat Credit Bulletproof Scaling System real quick. So this is the system that I help my students build into their businesses. This is why we're able to help credit repair business owners scale past that 5 to 10K a month mark all the way up to at least 30K, right? With proper implementation. If you go to my YouTube, if you go to, I think it's a 10K mentorship testimonials or something like that, client success stories, you'll see different case studies with my students of where, they're getting to the money doing stuff like this, right? Helped Ali scale to over 100K a month, So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see different interviews over there. But anyways, so somebody that's cold, they just found out about you, they're a new engager. You see right here, maybe they didn't watch your YouTube, right? Maybe they hop on a sales call with you immediately. Obviously, they're cold. So they have to get a proper contextual follow up. It's not that you're going to follow up with them like they're red hot down here, right? So they could be cold, they become a follower. Now they're in the yellow, they're warm, right? And in this process between warm and red hot, they're going to be warm, warmer, warmest, right? So what's going on during this whole process of going from warm to warmer to warmest to red hot to invest, right? Because we want to get to the money. So VSLs are going on, retargeting ads, emails, nurturing. We'll talk more about it, right? Your content could be short form, it could be long form, sales calls, right? So eventually they're going to have a conversation with someone on your team. Call to action. It could be a lead magnet, right? The main thing is people just have to spend time with you. It's like dating. You got to think about it like that. This is literally like dating. People have to consistently get nurtured. They have to consistently get nurtured to where they're feeling comfortable and now they're ready to open their pocketbooks. Think about it when I say the trust recession, think about it like somebody that got hurt countless times. Let's say a girl got hurt countless times by the wrong dudes, right? Yeah, she didn't come across you yet, but at the end of the day, that's just what it is. She's gonna have in her head, like, okay, maybe all dudes are like this, or somebody might have in their head, all credit repair businesses are like this. All funding businesses, they're getting low limits or something like that, right? So this is why proof is important. This is why consistency and just pretty much implementing this funnel is necessary for growth within your business. But this video is not about breaking down the Cat Credit Bulletproof Scaling System. I just wanted y'all to take a look at it. I got separate videos breaking down the system, so you can go ahead and watch those at your leisure. But let's get back to the video. So you want to look at it in terms of these glass cups, right? So I put this in a previous video just for simple demonstration. Obviously, on the left, somebody is not nurtured from you, right? We want to look at it in terms of respecting the 7 hour rule. So somebody on the left that has nothing filled up, they haven't watched none of your YouTube videos. They don't trust you. They don't know you. They don't like you, right? That's just the reality. Once we get to the middle, they're getting more nurtured. So they're probably a lead at this point because their 7 hour rule is, I'll say that's about what? That's 3.5 hours filled up. They've watched, decent amount of your content. And everybody's 7 hour rule is different. Some people just read how they're ready to go, right? But in the middle, they're watching some of your content. And then on the right, you see it's damn near their 7 hour is filled up. We could say that's like what, 6.7, 6.8 hours. So it's getting to a point where it's almost overfilled, right? So this is why contextual follow-up matters. If somebody's ready on the right, they're about to pull that trigger, maybe the proper automation sequence you're supposed to put in them versus saying, oh, they're not qualified. Go show them somebody that's like them that you help to get funding. Go show them somebody that's like them you helped delete that collection, right? Go show them somebody that's like them where you provided that good customer service. If customer service is their issue, remember, at the end of the day, this is business. In business, we're here to solve problems. Everybody's problems may be similar, but some may be different. Some people might be a delivery thing. Maybe they don't like the customer service or credit repair. Some people, it might just be simply, oh, I want high limits to business funding. Some people, okay, I want results. I don't want to talk to the credit repair people. I just want the results, right? So you got to just cater to people's problems and fix it. This is what business is. You're basically an alchemist. You're touching anything and turning it to gold, right? So this is how you should view your business when you solve problems. All right. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's rare that you'll close someone right away unless they're a referral without them watching your long form YouTube content, right? So just keep that in mind. The name of the game, making people consume your long form YouTube content, shortening the sales cycle. And when we're talking about context, this is where we talk about, okay, what specific VSLs, what specific videos should they be consuming? It might even be emails just referring back to specific videos. So this is why it can get complex, but it's why people pay us the big bucks. So keep that in mind. It's not impossible, but it's rare that someone will just buy right away. And one thing I want to be let you know too, funding can technically be looked at as a $0 investment thing because obviously with credit repair, it's one of those things where, especially if you have a high ticket offer, people can maybe having those objections of money and all that. With funding, that's not the case because essentially they're paying you based off of what you get them. So there's no excuse for them not to have the money. But the thing with funding is in the back of their mind, it might be like, okay, can this specific person help me? Maybe they've worked with somebody, maybe they haven't worked with somebody. Because you got to think there's still some convincing and sales aspect that goes into it to where someone is going to trust you, especially if you're a stranger online, for them to trust you to be like, okay, I don't need to just go apply online. Let me go and pay this person. Let me go pay a cap for their funding services. So that's why when you look at my channel, you see all this education as far as just just understanding the importance of the BRM within the process, just understanding what the banks are looking for. I'm adding education and letting people know why they're supposed to be working with us essentially. So you should be doing the same in your education. You can't just expect just because funding is a sexy offer and it's not upfront payment, you can't just expect, oh, people are just gonna want to work with you. People have worked with people, maybe they got low limit approvals, right? So this is why the BRMs come into place, having those connections, understanding the NACES codes, understanding the restricted industries, things like that. Just knowledge of it is important. And then obviously too, the know like trust factor comes in. You adding your personality in there too. People that do business with me, they watch these type of videos. They understand what I'll be saying as far as my marketing. We don't do business with poor people, all that. So that helps people know, like, trust me as well. And then just everything I'm talking about within the funnel. So I don't want y'all to get it misconstrued to think that just because you have a funding offer, people are just going to come to you like that. You have to be able to deliver results. Speaking of that too, that's why I talk about the results as far as what I'm doing. I'll be like, I funded my client 50,000, like I just showed y'all right now, right? This is why, when I have my students as well, I'll talk about their wins, right? Because if I'm teaching these people that are getting these wins, that are funding people that are deleting stuff off of these credit reports, people are looking at it like, okay, he's teaching them. What does he know? So that's y'all get what I'm saying. All right, so that's why your content is important in this aspect because you need to have proof. You need proof. You need proof that you're getting people approved. You need proof you're getting people results, or it's not gonna work, right? So especially with funding, because I know it's a success fee. You might think like, okay, people are just supposed to come. That's not how it's gonna be. One thing too, the credit repair to funding client pipeline is very, very key, right? Because you've gotten them that win with credit repair. It could be a couple of collections, whatever it is. Okay, now they're going to be more trusting to work with you for the funding. So don't sleep on that graduation of credit repair to funding client. So they say fortune is in the follow up, and that is definitely true. But you have to understand how you follow up, right? That's how you're going to get your fortune. How you follow up is going to be contextual. Context matters. Where are they at in the sales cycle? So, like I said, you have to know where someone is in the sales cycle. So, when someone books a call with you, you have to figure out how much of your YouTube have they consumed. What is a practical way to do something like that? A practical way, somebody fills out your application. Okay, now they get the Zoom link. You can literally have your sales rep or you text them, call them before the call. Have you watched my YouTube video? How much of this have you watched it, right? And then one way too is with the automation when they book the call, send them a video talking about how it is to work with us. Okay, 48 hours before the call. This is a case study I did with someone in your same situation. 24 hours before the call. Give them a YouTube thing as well. Give them a lead magnet or something, right? So you just want to bombard them in a sense, not like harassing them, but bombard them with nurturing assets. So by the time they hop on a call, you already know that they've consumed some of your YouTube. A different way, when they get on a call, literally asking them, how did you find me? You could ask it on the form. If you go to look at our form, we say, how did you find out about us? We're not just asking, we're not just asking that to have conversation. We're asking that for data, right? I'm not saying like, oh, we don't care about how someone found us. We definitely care about how someone found us because of data purposes, so we can make our systems better, right? So you got to understand too how someone found you is going to be important because that'll essentially snitch on how much they've watched of your YouTube channel. If someone says, "Oh, I found you through YouTube," you should be salivating because you're gonna get that money. So keep that in mind. So one thing too, you want to think about it in terms of if-then statements. So I don't know if y'all know, but I was a chemical engineer in college and I did coding. So, like programming, that kind of thing. So, for example, look at it like if-then statement. If a new engager gets on a call and they're asking basic questions about deleting collections or something like that, then we're going to send nurturing assets where you're discussing how to delete collections and showing proof you've deleted collections, and case study or testimonial videos going over with the client their experience working with you where you deleted collections. Now we're going in terms of the middle of funnel, bottom of funnel type of content. They can go to the top of funnel for generic stuff or whatever, but this is important in terms of understanding how to handle the client, where they're at in the sales cycle. It's not enough to just send any and every nurturing asset. Remember, it's a trust recession. We have to be specifically customized in terms of how we nurture our clients, in terms of how we follow up with our clients, in terms of how we follow up with prospects that are going to become our clients, especially for higher ticket services. So your follow up needs to have context. That's what I'm saying. So this whole video, I have different videos on crackhead content consumption. If y'all have watched my previous videos covering that, we're not talking about that here. You can go watch that concept in a different video. We're not really talking about God-made marketing with the CAC credit bulletproof scaling system funnel. We're not talking about all that, right? We're not talking about the marketing strategy behind intentional VSLs. More so just talking about you already having all of this and then how you tie it into your follow-up sequences, right? So the context of this video is assuming you already have these things dialed in. So you're probably already doing at least 10 to 20K a month. We just need to understand this follow-up context if you want to scale past 30K a month conveniently. I'm not saying you can't scale past 30K a month without understanding all of this. It'll just be easier to just go collect those follow-up people if you do understand this and implement it. So nurturing assets. So some nurturing assets just to remind y'all, it could be nurture emails referencing your long form YouTube videos, which is one thing that we do. Text as well, we do that. Long form videos by itself, which is ungated. So something like this is just posted on YouTube. That's what's considered ungated. Gated is like somebody goes to the opt-in page, name, email, they received a video over there. It could be your sales rep educating. So our sales reps, when they are doing calls, depending on where someone may be in the sales cycle, they're going to handle the call a little bit differently. So you've just got to understand context. If you watch me up until this point in the video and you don't have all of this dialed in already, I've talked about, it logically makes sense to work with me so I can help you install this exact system into your business so you can get richer. This is how things work. All right. You have to have more wisdom. You have to have more knowledge, and investing in yourself is how you get that. It's how King Solomon did his business. Everything is biblical. Everything's in the Bible. So these are just biblical principles. You don't know what you don't know. So this video is a perfect example of that. If you don't have everything I've talked about in this video dialed in, if you watch any of this video and you have these aha moments or just like, oh shoot, that's true. I should have this. I got to do this in my business. I got to do this. Then that's a what's it called? That's a good sign that you need to change your proximity. You need to get around me because I can only tell you so much in this short video, right? This is public to everybody. What happens when we're behind the scenes in our higher ticket program and I'm really helping you get to that next level? So just kind of visualize that. So if you're smart, when you book a call below, we'll basically go over your situation and see if we think it's a good fit to work with us. And if so, we'll make you an offer. If we don't think we can help you, we will not make you an offer. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing if we can help some of y'all scale on the call. If not, go ahead and watch my other videos. And at the end of the day, this free information is enough to help you add thousands of dollars to your business. So go do something with the free information and then come get with us in the paid information so we can really help you scale. With that being said, y'all have a blessed one.